Ladies and gentlemen, we have another cut and paste video from user mccainisthrough to debunk titled, Sarah Palin doesn't know Africa is a continent. This is another cut and paste production attempting to paint Sarah Palin as an idiot, as predictably unnamed McCain staffers said she didn't know what countries were in NAFTA, nor did she know that Africa is a continent. Some things to consider here. This user thought the McCain campaign lied throughout the election. Now they're telling the truth when they make these allegations against Sarah Palin. Something smells here, and it's not machismo. Then we're subjected to more cut and paste as she copies numerous broadcasts repeating this claim. At the 4:26 mark, this user copies an interview where Palin begins to respond to these allegations and predictably cuts her off. I don't know how much of the interview this user cut, but I would bet it was all the important parts. She says Sarah Palin remembers that her preparation involved being taught about Africa. I highly doubt that even John McCain would have been dumb enough to pick a candidate who didn't know Africa is a continent. Again, this user is subjecting us to hearsay. Then she pastes on the screen. Now she, referring to Palin, now she knows Africa is a continent. Again, hearsay, and again this user is now believing the words of a campaign she believed was lying the entire time. Then this user says, allegedly, that's the key word there, allegedly it was your own staff, Sarah, you idiot, who started saying that she didn't know Africa was a continent, didn't know the countries involved in NAFTA. Actually, mccainisthrough, you can't even get your own cut and paste talking points right. It was supposedly unnamed McCain campaign aides. If you go back to the 3-minute 46-second portion of your cut and paste video, you'll see that. mccainisthrough also says, however, it is likely true, referring to these allegations. Funny how truthful the McCain campaign has suddenly become, eh? Incidentally, the only part that this user got right was the bridge to nowhere. Palin initially did support this, but later pulled a John Kerry and was against it. Even more interesting, when Senator Coburn tried to strip funding for the bridge to nowhere, again, I'll have the relevant links off to the right side so you can see, she, referring to mccainisthrough, never provides any links. I'll have all the relevant links on the right side so you can check this out. When Senator Coburn tried to strip funding for the bridge to nowhere, guess who voted against it? Two of them were Senator Biden and Senator Obama at the time. Whoops. Let's look at, however, this Sarah Palin gaffe, whether it occurred or not, is hearsay. Now, if I heard her say that, I would say, yeah, that's pretty stupid, but these are referring to hearsay. Let's let's go back and look at some gaffes that were caught on television in front of the microphones, not allegations from faceless aides. As an aside, I think John McCain's campaign is just upset because they lost. Let's look at some of Joe Biden's gaffes and Obama's gaffes that were actually caught on tape. And we don't have to refer to nameless aides asserting that someone said this and somebody said that. Joe Biden thinks jobs is a 3-letter word. J-O-B-S, jobs, it's a 3-letter word. Yeah, he actually said that. He also thinks FDR was president in 1929 and got on television to calm the American people. Hoover was president in 1929 and TV had not been invented yet. Biden thinks you need an Indian accent to enter a 7-Eleven. You remember that gaffe? That was back in 2006, and had to unceremoniously end his 1988 presidential bid because it was learned that he plagiarized the works of Labor Party leader Neil Kinnock in his speeches. He actually, in September 87 it ended because they found that out, so he left in disgrace. Biden has also had trouble on several occasions figuring out the difference between a brigade and a battalion, and apparently doesn't know that the House of Representatives is the chamber of Congress that can bring impeachment charges against the president, not the Senate. Biden had threatened to impeach President Bush if he went to war with Iran, not knowing that it was the House that would have to start those proceedings. We all remember Hussein Obama asserting that there are 57 states in these United States, complaining about the ban on American beef in Japan as if it was still in place long after it had been lifted almost a year. It had been gone almost a year, and he was out there complaining about it. Hussein Obama also asserted that Toyota was getting 45 miles per gallon in CAFE standards, in the CAFE standards game. Somebody from the media actually went and asked Toyota, and they said, I don't know where he's getting that from. It's actually closer to 30. I don't know where maybe he was pulling it from somebody's butt. Hussein Obama forgot that he'd actually voted on what to do with the Hanford nuclear waste site. He was questioned at a forum about this by a voter, and he acted as if he knew nothing about it when he'd actually cast votes on it before. He also thinks Arkansas is closer to Kentucky than Illinois is. So let's dispense with the Sarah Palin is an idiot. And lastly, at the end of his video, McCain is Through says this: Sarah Palin, IQ immeasurably low. The problem here, kiddo, is you spelled immeasurably incorrect. You might want to keep a dictionary handy from now on. It's one of those books that shows you how to spell words. Don't thank us now.